buzzword of the year?
Go!
Engagement. From long-standing traditions to traditions debuting for the first time. The UAB National Alumni Society spent the last year engaging alumni and current students. Hey! The NAS visited 6 chapters throughout the year. We hosted alumni at the Commerce Club in Atlanta last October, the Fleming's Prime Steakhouse in Charlotte in February, and the International Spy Museum in D.C. in April for traditional networking opportunities. During the early conference basketball season, alumni helped cheer on the Blazers men's basketball team for games against Rice in Houston and Florida International in South Florida. In February, we hit the home of Mardi Gras, Mobile, Alabama, for a Mystic Stripers parade watch party on the balcony of the Battle House Renaissance Hotel. The NAS also invited alumni and friends to support Blazer athletics. Late August, we hosted more than 200 at the NAS Fan Fest tailgate prior to the Green and Gold football game to enjoy barbecue and the comeback brew from Cahaba Brewing Company. Homecoming was even busier. With the theme Forever Blaze, buildings across campus were painted green and gold. Schools displayed their Blazer spirit as they competed to be named the best decorated as a part of the building decoration contest. In one of the most beloved UAB traditions, with UAB football coach Bill Clark serving as the honorary starter, teams of 4 took to 13th Street South for the annual Gurney Derby. Teams such as the Hemoglobin Trotters, the Blazer Engineers, and Public Enema dashed with gurneys in tow to be crowned Derby champs. The main event during homecoming returned to football. More than 100 alumni and friends joined our tailgate on the West Campus athletic fields. At halftime of the game itself, we crowned Eli Usuri and Isabella Mack as our Mr. and Miss UAB. Along with the rest of the finalists and many others, the newly crowned Mr. and Miss UAB helped close the week during the homecoming parade. Then, in late October, Therapy South presented the 2016-2017 tip-off party at Cahaba Brewing. Over 200 alumni and fans joined Coach Robert Eson, Coach Randy Norton, and their teams to help get the season started. Also on the court, we hosted alumni outings for both the men's and women's basketball teams. About 100 Blazer faithful attended the men's basketball alumni night and enjoyed Dreamland Barbecue and a Blazer March to Bartow Arena. The event was sponsored by Liberty Mutual. And more than 40 alumni and fans took part in the Women's Alumni Day VIP experience that featured courtside seating. We hit the road in mid-February, bringing 40 fans with us to watch the Blazers take on the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. We returned to the gridiron in April for the spring football game. Hundreds of fans visited us in the north end zone to get game day buttons, a taste of the comeback brew, and pictures with Blaze. This past June, the NAS Board of Directors, Junior Board, and several past presidents took a tour of the new UAB Football Operations Center and Legacy Pavilion. That was just a few days before Coach Bill Clark joined us to speak to more than 70 alumni and friends during our 38th annual meeting. Throughout the year, the UAB National Alumni Society also had the opportunity to honor remarkable individuals. In September, the NAS hosted the 16th annual Alumni Awards Recognition and Awards Luncheon. Carol Odess, Dr. Harold Jones, Dr. Will Ferniani, Trey Cummings, and Nancy Fuad Carey were all honored during this year's luncheon. A new tradition was launched last October.
Wherein is a representation of our family legacy.
The NAS held its first ever legacy pinning. More than 50 current students and their families took part, bridging UAB's past with its present. Then, in June, 34 outstanding business leaders representing 25 businesses from across the nation were honored as part of the 5th annual UAB Excellence in Business Top 25 Awards program. April was the month of debuts for the NAS. More than 40 alumni and students came together as we served the Birmingham community during UAB Unite Day. The NAS and Student Alumni Society partnered with Habitat for Humanity and Red Mountain Park. 10 days later, more than 50 graduating students and young alumni enjoyed the opportunity to network with current board and junior board members at the Alumni House. Then, at the graduation send-off late in the month, a new tradition bloomed as more than 175 soon-to-be graduates placed their thumbprints on a UAB family tree. More than 1,200 people helped send off the graduates at the Alumni House in December and April, but more intimate send-offs were held for incoming freshmen. Last summer, Drs. Chip and Susan Tucker welcomed new UAB students into their home in Gadsden, And board member Tammy Thomas and her husband Gary Smith hosted incoming freshmen and their families in Huntsville. Just last month, University of Alabama System Board of Trustee member and UAB alumni Marietta Urquhart and Dr. William Urquhart hosted the first freshman send-off of 2017 at their home in Mobile. For students, the SAS engaged those on campus through fun experiences. On move-in day, more than 100 freshmen cooled off and enjoyed the chance to win SAS swag with a spin of the prize wheel. A few days later, the Student Alumni Society turned out to fight hunger on campus. The SAS gave away 850 piggy banks to gather loose change and raise money for the UAB Student Food and Supply Pantry. When the Feed the Pig campaign ended later in September, more than $10,000 had been raised. It was all about fun during Blazer Splash. The third annual event on the green keeps getting bigger. Last fall, more than 5,000 water balloons were filled for the water fight, with nearly 400 students taking part. The entire fight lasted a mere 7.5 minutes. In February, several board members attended the 2017 Higher Education Banquet at the Capital City Club in Montgomery. That was followed by the Higher Education Rally on the steps of the State House. Several thousand students from across the state showed up to show their support of higher education funding, including a contingent from UAB. While so much was going on during the year, perhaps the most important is raising money for student scholarships. With a live and silent auction, the 8th annual Uncork Education was held last November. More than 200 alumni and friends helped raise nearly $55,000 to go towards UAB student scholarships. February's Valentine's Basket fundraiser has become a staple for the NAS. Through online and on-site sales, we raised more than $9,000. And in May, we saw the return of the UAB National Alumni Society Scholarship Run, presented by Viva Health.
Way to finish, guys!
More than 550 alumni and friends took part in the 11th annual run, bringing in $56,000 for scholarships. Through these 3 events combined, we have been able to raise more than $1 million for scholarships since 2007. The UAB National Alumni Society is proud to partner with our schools and colleges in raising over $1 million from alumni to provide student scholarships. These are the faces of those who benefit from that money, our fundraising efforts, and our membership. They represent 131 UAB students who were awarded 42 different scholarships through the National Alumni Society. Combined, we were able to hand out more than $230,000 to students at the scholarship reception alone. And that's a look back at the last year. Now, on to the next 365.